Welcome everybody to our weekly Soul Changes Lives webinar. My name is Debbie Perez Cockburn. I am your moderator for this meeting. I am always grateful to see you every week. This week is an exciting week for our family. We have our second to youngest daughter who is graduating from the University of Texas. Go Longhorns. And I think it's like this. And she will be commissioned in the Navy. So we're headed to Austin for that. And we're excited to see her. I'm always, oh, thank you, Juanita. And we're excited for a lot of things that are going on. There's some wonderful things happening at Soul I'm excited about that Greg talked about last week. And so I wanted to start our weekly webinar with a recording of a friend, and hopefully I get to do this the right way. So bear with me, it didn't work with me yesterday, but I'm going to share my screen. My sweet friend Valerie Bledsoe recorded something for a convention last year. You may or may not have seen it, and if you saw it, you may not remember its impact. But you know, every week here we try to talk about how soul changes lives, and we talk about testimonials on how soul can change someone feel better. And that's certainly amazing. That's why soul exists. That's why we use supplementation, right? So that we can feel better. It is my personal belief. Now, mind you, I am not a doctor. None of the comments that are expressed on this webinar every week are made by doctors. No one on the panelist is a doctor. We don't pretend to be doctors. I don't treat disease or infirmities or treat anything by name. But it is my personal belief as a person who has practiced natural health for almost 30 years, that if we give our body what it needs, the body can correct itself. And so that's what I love about adaptogenic herbs, especially Soul Naturals products. After using a great product line for 20 some odd years, I really didn't see the results that I have seen in the last 8 years in my personal life with Soul. And I say that with all seriousness. It has helped me emotionally and physically to be a different person. I truly am a different person today than I was almost 8 years ago when I signed up with Soul. But another way that Soul can change our lives is to give us financial freedom. And certainly when we look at multi-level marketing businesses, I know a lot of people are skeptical and think it's a lot of things, but I'll tell you what Soul is. Soul is a company that will compensate you for sharing your knowledge and your experience in helping other people become well. When people become well, then they like to spread the word. And when they start to share, Soul has a very generous compensation plan that allows you to earn some money while you help other people. So it's important to help people. That is our main goal. But Soul will compensate you for sharing your knowledge. And I wanted to share the example of my friend Valerie Bledsoe with you. And so I'm going to share my screen really quickly and try to make sure that I do this the right way for you today so that we can, I can share with you what I have seen. And so hopefully, here we go. Here we go. All right. I'm going to share this.
I've been proud of the fact that no matter what it took when we were raising our 6 children, we provided. Sometimes that meant each of us working 3 jobs outside the house, but almost every single minute of the time, one of us was with our kids. And we were very proud of that. My husband's a big, tall, 6'5" man, retired military, bounty hunter, bail bondsman. He's kind of like a powerhouse. So you get used to him being able to take care of everything. He's got your back on everything. So Monday, January 20th of 2020, when I got up and found him in the front room in obvious pain, it was challenging. I mean, what do you do? This is a man who takes care of everything. By the end of the day, we admitted him to the hospital. The end result was He ended up having a very rare condition, infection, with a 1% chance of survival. From the moment this started, I spent every waking moment by his side, being his advocate, taking care of everything. I totally walked away from my business. I'd had a brick and mortar for 22 years. I'm a master herbalist. I had a schedule where it could take at least 6 weeks to even get in to see me. I walked away from all of it. It was he was in the hospital for a week, but we had another 12 weeks of hardcore recovery, PICC lines, and I wasn't able to attend my business like my customers and clients had gotten used to. So imagine my relief and surprise, because remember too, he wasn't able to work. When I got my monthly payout from Soul, and I saw that nothing had gone downhill. I had lost no money. Not only that, this continued the whole way through all of this. Here we are 6 months into this. We still have another year and a half for his recovery. I was able to do everything I needed to do to take care of Troy. That income was sufficient for taking care of all of our needs. I didn't have to cut back on anything. You know, they say, be careful what you ask for. I'd always said, well, they say that you can make a living doing this, and I'm doing really well, but I had all these other responsibilities, and I'd never been in the position where I had to rely on that solely because we had multiple income streams coming in. It brought me to tears multiple times with the gratitude and the awareness that they were there for us. You know, when I first went up and met with Greg, checking out Soul 8 years ago, he told me when I pulled him aside and said, you know, thank you for giving me back my heart. You know, this is so important to me. He said, Valerie, you take care of the people and we'll take care of you. And they did. He did. We were taken care of. I'm still taking care of. I was able to close my doors of my brick and mortar, not be affected by the business, change the business model. I'm working from home now, being able to see people via Zoom and phone calls, and I'm being able to realize a lifelong dream of teaching all the time. I have my own YouTube channel. This is because of Soul. I'm now able to do more, affect more people, help affect more change than I could before this. Thank you.
Wasn't that amazing? I just love that. I really, really love that story because it tells me that what we're doing is a good thing, that we can share Soul wherever we are. And if we have, like she said, Valerie had a brick and mortar, and she was doing consultations. And when her husband became ill, she had to stop what she was doing to take care of him. And her business never skipped a beat. And so it's really fascinating to me. Today, I had a discussion with some leaders who are not of my group, who wanted to interview one of the most successful people in our success line. And his name is Jesus Conde, and all of you probably have already seen his video that I shared with you on the WhatsApp chat. And I find it fascinating that really Soul can take care of you regardless of where you are or what you're doing. Soul, if you put your faith in the product and you use the program the way you're supposed to do it, then I promise you that you will get more than what you wanted. You will be able to really go ahead and you'll be able to what the best way to say it is, you'll be able to live your dreams. I never imagined in a million years that I would be able to be where I am today in my health and in my finances with what Soul is doing for me. So I am so grateful, just so grateful for everything that I've seen in my life and everything that I've been able to do. And it really is just amazing. And I love Valerie's story of how she was able to do that with with her husband and take care of his needs and still be able to do what she did and get a bonus check. She took off that year to take care of her husband and closed her store, literally just could not see anyone else and still did not suffer. And it's because, one, the most important thing, the product works. And so her customers were getting the results that they wanted. And number two, Soul's compensation plan is probably the most generous I've ever seen. And I tell you, in all honesty, I've done this business for 31 years. And this is the first time I am an owner of my business. And I have seen the great change that I've seen in my life. And so it really is amazing that we can do what we love to do, which is feel well, and then help others feel well and be compensated for that. So I just wanted to share, that's a different testimonial than what we usually have every week, but I feel like it's really important. And so I just wanted to share that with you this week. And Greg, I see you're here. I'm so grateful that you're here. I'm trying to figure out what I did wrong. I joined in on my telephone and then joined in on my computer. So I'm trying to figure out where it is that I'm logged into so that I can make you a panelist.
I've done that before.
Have you?
I think if you log in on your phone, you may have to get on that one.
Okay.
You've got yourself as a host and another one of yourself as a co-host.
Oh, is that what I did?
But I think you can have an unlimited number of co-hosts. I don't think you have.
But I think I'll have to make you a co-host from the phone and not from the computer.
Maybe try if you started on your phone, you can click on my name there and see if it gives you that.
Yes,
option.
I'm going to see that right now and see if I can make you a co-host. I'm doing it on the phone. Aren't you impressed?
You know, it really is. Zoom is pretty good on the phone too. I use it half the time.
Okay.
I prefer the computer because I show slides, but yeah.
Perfect. So I've just made you a co-host, so now you can share. And what I wanted to do before you share is just let everybody know today we're talking about the clarifying fiber blend, and people will just say, "What the heck is that? What does that mean, Debbie? What does that mean, Greg?" We know that Soul has its products divided up into 4 categories. We have the lift, the balance, the calming, and the clarifying line of products. And our fiber product happens to fall in the clarifying category. Could you tell us why it's a clarifying product and then explain to us how it is that it works?
You bet, Deb. And good afternoon to everybody that's here today. I'm happy to be here and I'm happy to share the information that, like all of you, I like to keep my ears open and keep taking those notes. And it's been a blessing to be around so many people like Debbie and these wonderful scientists like Dr. Allison. And I just try to keep the notes so I can pass them on as well in these classes. But I can tell you a lot of thought goes into every Soul product, which category we want to place it in. And this one's no different. Fiber is one of the simplest things we can do to make the biggest change in our health. And I really believe that. And I grew up like Debbie around lots of really knowledgeable people who talked a lot about fiber, and it got ingrained very early in me. This is a very simple thing we can do that makes incredibly significant changes in health. I wish we could talk everyone into supplementing with fiber. If we could talk them into it, they have to feel it, right? But if we could talk them into it, we would, because to me, it is something virtually everyone can do. I mean, the steps are really easy. Lots of water, lots and lots of water and fiber. And I would just say, I mean, I know all of you listening to this have had lots of experience using fiber. And I know Debbie has. But I mean, a good rule of thumb is something that Dr. Allison teaches when she trains on good vibrations. Start with a small amount and build. It's so easy. Start with a small amount and build. Sometimes people, they want to jump right in. And I'll tell you, there's a weakness with our fiber in doing that, because I don't view it as a weakness, but it's easier to start with a lot because it's the first fiber that actually tastes really good. Fiber that's high quality. Fiber that's high quality does not taste good. When you get it's rare. I can't say it, it never does, but I can tell you, I've never tasted a good quality one, a high quality one that tasted good. I've tasted plenty that taste good and there's not much fiber in them. That's why they taste so good. Not much good quality fiber, real cheap fibers. Doesn't mean they don't cost a lot, but the fiber itself is cheap. So when we created Good Vibrations, first, we knew we wanted to be part of Clarify, because clarifying is about removing blockages and aligning the symphony of work that goes on between all the vital organs and body systems. I mean, sometimes we talk about them as vital organs, sometimes we talk about them as the body systems, but the principle's the same. They all work together. They depend upon one another. And when one part is weak, another part has to make up for it, right? Fiber is that wonderful, far-reaching piece of nutrition that helps everything. And we can go in and we can list study after study and go to each organ, look at the pancreas and sugar, regulating sugar, easing the work on the pancreas, looking at the heart, cleaning the blood, easing the work on the heart. Look at the kidneys. I mean, we can go down the list of every one of the sort of the vital parts that we are aware of in the body, and we can track directly results of studies and experience for many, many years how fiber, just that simple thing, fiber and water, will change everything. So we knew we wanted fiber to be part of Soul. And the trick was this, is that we wanted it to be good tasting fiber, because we hope that literally, I believe, half the people or 2/3 of the people who would take fiber don't, because they just can't stand it. They try it a little, they're on and off. They just can't stay consistent. So the hope is, could we come up with a fiber that people would use every day? And I think the secret in that is back to Dr. Allison. Don't overuse it, but just use it every day. You'll know on the times when you want to use more. As you get used to it and you see how the body works, everybody gets that knowledge. And then, boy, then you're really in a good place, because you're able to increase it or decrease it depending on need, but it's always part of diet, right? So I know that's a little more than Debbie, than just why is it in the Clarify category. But really, I would say two of the really strongest characteristics of Good Vibrations, which is why we sort of did a funny name there, because it tastes good. It's the highest quality fiber that I've ever seen, and having been part of creating in past companies several good fiber products, this one is actually more, and it is using the highest quality fiber components that we're aware of. And then it also, as you know, includes adaptogens and other very important components. I looked high and low for our slide presentation, and I actually couldn't find it today, Deb. So I apologize, I don't have a series of slides, and I'm going to just take us to the information sheet that we can see in the shopping area. And so let me see, I got to make sure I get this right. Give me just one quick second, because I've got.
No worries. What I wanted to say in the meantime, while you're looking for that, is I am highly impressed, because coming from another good company, we would see fiber products that were only psyllium hull, psyllium C.
Yeah,
that's it. And like you say, it doesn't mean that the product was inexpensive, but the actual ingredients are really not that expensive. And so
you can buy really cheap fiber, actually.
Yeah, you can get
very,
some
very,
cheap.
yeah.
But what I love that you did with this, and I just I remember when I look at all of the ingredients in good vibrations, it is what you say. Not only does it taste good, but it's really good for you. And if we really consider the gut our second brain, which really in my book, it's the first brain and this is the second brain. But really when we think,
True, that's the order. That's
yes,
the proper order.
yeah, and when we think about what we're trying to accomplish in the clarifying area, good vibrations really fits the bill on every level.
Yeah, well, in fact, I love what you just said, Deb, because you can look at this as, oh, it's going to clean and clear out and remove blockages of my gut or even my blood. Or you can make a deeper statement and just say, this is going to clear my head. When it clears my brain, so to speak, clarifies emotions, thought, mood, that's your evidence. That's our evidence that all the others happening, because that's the second step. The first step is where this fiber works. So I actually love thinking about it that way, Deb. I actually like that better. You know, mental clarity is what it's about. It absolutely is what it's about. So fiber, we just don't get enough of. We're not going to spend any time on that because we're all in agreement, right? We just don't. I will never say everybody. There are some few who are so good about that. And I'm talking about without using a supplement, you know, just with their tabletop food. But honestly, the way we make it happen for 99.9% of us is we've got to add a supplement. And when we do that, simple thing, huge result. So here's how we built good vibrations. We say right under the name harmonizing fibers, because it's back to harmonizing how organs work together, how systems work together, thoughts. I know that that's the part that's a little bit harder to explain to someone unless you have yourself in a good place with balanced nutrition, kind of looking at the soul model. When we harmonize the function of this wonderful creation, which is our body, and it performs the way it's created to perform, then thoughts are clear, we experience life, we feel all the ups and downs, but not to overwhelm. And so good vibration is about harmonizing. I kind of like to use the analogy of a symphony and that's the yellow category. That's, I think, why Debbie wanted to talk about that first. When things are aligned and they're together, doing the things when they're supposed to, you know, one thing's doing its thing, sending out a neurotransmitter, and something else can't do its part, and it blocks and it clogs up, and things start to mess up in the process. Energy doesn't flow, and the energy flow is interrupted. There's one way we can look at ourselves as pure energy, right? So harmonizing is arranging things, providing for those needs that allow energy to flow. And sometimes that's clearing out things. And sometimes it's just simply spreading out the delivery of things like sugars into the cells with fiber around. Sugar doesn't come in all at once and overwhelm. It comes in a measured pace. So many different ways we can describe what harmonizing means. So we had to make it taste good. Well, let's just look at the ingredients real fast. And I'll tell you a little bit about exactly what material we use so that, I don't know, in case you get questions or wondering. First of all, psyllium husk and whole powder. Now, why do we say husk and whole? Because we have two different sizes here. Two different mesh sizes. Why? So that we can get in all the nooks and crannies, honestly, and so that different sizes are more likely to be used in different aspects of health through that whole tract of digestive and intestinal. So it's just a better, instead of just throwing in some big thick psyllium, over the years we've learned that different sizes have a role in different situations in health. So you got multiple sizes. You actually have three from psyllium. You have two different mesh sizes from the more insoluble component that provides bulk, among other things that it provides for. And then you have the seed, the psyllium seed powder. So you've got three different materials there. We do still believe there are other great fibers, but because of its versatility in mesh sizes and in seed, we feel like psyllium is still the gold standard when it comes to really, really good therapeutic fibers that can be used all the time. So that's one piece, the psyllium. Second, we've got the fiber blend that came from our Soul Complete formula, more dominated by the soluble components. Again, looking now into the blood and purifying and cleansing, supporting healthy circulation in all its aspects, all of its aspects, pressure, sugar, blood lipids, any of the measures that we tend to look at, a good balanced fiber product will make a difference. Again, a super easy thing that can make a big difference. Fiber, water, super easy thing. So you can see a few of those listed there. They're fruit fibers. They actually go wonderfully well together. Lots of great studies on so many different things. I mean, Debbie could talk to you about hormone, the effect of various of these fibers on hormone imbalances for men and women, estrogen, et cetera. Xenobiotics. Debbie could teach you, and I'm sure a number of you listening could probably as well teach on that. Just suffice it to say with what I'm presenting today, having known that and being around you all for all these years and the scientists as well, that's the answer on why we included so many different types and sizes and combinations of fiber, looking at what we viewed as best for the various uses of fiber instead of trying to one size fits all it with one fiber. Now we have some favorites like slippery elm bark. That we will admit is a favorite because it's very nutritional, not just really mucilaginous, really healing, really gentle. There's a lot of gentle in this fiber, but all of the strength to do the most rigorous cleansing. It's a very versatile fiber. And I want to just make up one point or make mention of one point on the middle column here of the sheet. You can see red raspberry, marshmallow, and holy basil. And some of those you'll go, okay, marshmallow, yes, right? There's a lot of fiber in that. And again, like slippery elm, it's meant to soothe and repair digestive tract, but also provide an environment where probiotics can flourish. And provide for healing. There's a lot of ways in which we damage digestion, and that is that our brain can't function, and because it's damaged, the first one's damaged. We got to get the first one right, and then the brain that we talk with and think with gets right. So you have a few really classic soothing fibers in here, but also notice right up on top of that red raspberry, both the seed and the leaf. And I will tell you one of the main reasons for that. You can see we mentioned on the sheet a lot of minerals, vitamins, trace amounts of very important components for nutrient absorption and for healing in the gut. But one of the big reasons for this is glutathione. And we don't mention it on this sheet, but it is in one of the presentations. I did find the Spanish version, Debbie. I couldn't find the English version. And that was one of the studies that's shown, and honestly, I'm not sure whether it was with the leaf of red raspberry or with the seed, okay? But it was red raspberry. It was either the leaf or the seed. Now we've got both of them, so you're covered with good vibrations. But there was a significant increase in glutathione when red raspberry is introduced into the diet. So there are a lot of more detailed reasons for this combination. It's a fairly complex fiber combination, but one that's super useful based on the amount you decide to use. Holy basil's in here because it's a central nervous system calmer. I think it's one of the best parasympathetic support. So all those parasympathetic nerve functions, things that are stimulated in a resting state in the body, like repair and digestion and all of that. Holy basil is wonderful for that, but it also is a top tier liver protector. And that's why it's in here as well, because to do some work, I would say, Avant Greens is probably the other product. I mean, to mention another one that is just targeted right for that liver. But there's some great liver help in this fiber. And then you can see those last three, ginger root, pear fruit, and lime juice, all have their components partially in creating this fiber, one that's really quite delicious. You smell it. I've never met someone who smells this fiber and goes, ugh. People, they're quickly go, wow, that smells good. Well, pear is one of the most allergic, what's anti-allergic of any food known to man. as they've studied over the years, you can look at publication, the fewest people are allergic to pear to any fruit that exists. It's very hypo, that's the word I was looking for, hypoallergenic. So it's a very, it is a very safe fruit for people to flavor things with, because a lot of people using fiber have serious detox needs. And when they have serious detox needs, it's very common to have a lot of allergies, right? Food and otherwise. So pear is a natural fit there, along with ginger, again, a similar purpose, calming and enabling people to use the product. And then look at how nutritious they are as well. They are therapeutic besides just a great flavor. In fact, any component we use in Soul will always have multiple purposes, of course, because we don't want to waste an ingredient on something that just does one thing, when we believe in variety of nutrition and complementary nutrition to just make a product that much better. So Deb, I know you've got lots and lots of experience with too, but these are just some of my thoughts, kind of at the front of mind as I look at this clarifying fiber blend.
I so appreciate your time, because there's a saying, right? No one's a prophet in their own country. Sometimes you can talk to people till you're blue in the face about a product, and they'll just say, oh, they're just trying to sell me something. But what I love about what you've said, Greg, and I reiterate, you get what you pay for in the market, right? And if you're buying something that, I could say it, they're not going to come sue me. You buy something at Walmart, you're really not getting the highest quality of anything, right? I think most people, like you say, are used to a fiber. They'll buy the Metamucil or something. It's cheap fiber. It's easy to access, but it doesn't mean that it's bad for you. It's not giving you everything that you should be getting from a fiber product. What I love that you've done here is not only have you included like the gold standard in the market, which is psyllium. That psyllium fiber we know is important, but not everyone uses the husk or the powder or the seed. Do you know what I mean? Some people only use the seed, or only use the powder, or only use the husk. You very seldom see all of the components come together in the main component, right? So you're looking at the main ingredient is psyllium. What I love that you discussed, and most people just say, but fiber's fiber. No, you know what? It's in our Soul Complete. It's in our Avant Greens. We have that combination of those fruit fibers, which are amazing. So now you have your component of soluble fiber, insoluble fiber, like you said, different sizes, do different things in the body. And when you think about the gut, your intestine being your first brain, it's really, I will never forget what I read 100 years ago when I started in this business. Not only are you what you eat, but 98% of diseases will start in the gut. Why? Because we're not digesting properly, or we're not absorbing properly. This is a product that's not going to just help, like you said, move things out. This is a product that's going to increase your central nervous system functioning, because it's helping you absorb better nutrition. It's keeping your body clean. And you know as well as I do that if you are not eliminating, you build up toxicity. So now you're putting stress and pressure on your liver, on your brain. You're also putting that extra stress on your emotions, because when you can't go to the bathroom, I don't know about you, but I get really cranky.
Yeah, let me jump off real quick. I don't lose your train of thought, but here's an example of what you're saying. The holy basil, okay? If we read that paragraph, okay, one of the most highly valued adaptogenic herbs, supports kidney health, healthy blood sugar levels, but also has pronounced neuroprotective, very nervous system break, and is used to support mood and memory. Well, that's a classic example. When stress comes up, and it's part of every day, our reactions are different. For some of us, it literally shuts down the colon, right? For other of us, it sticks it into hyperdrive. Either way, now, something that's supposed to happen is not going to happen. Reabsorption that should have happened when it's going too fast. I mean, we can go up the list. So back to Debbie's point, when we can take measures to keep it a proper speed, a proper pace, and have it be the right mucous membrane, the right texture, it's a very complicated pathway, right? It goes through a lot of twists and turns, so to speak. Then we eliminate it, or put a better way. Let me put it a better way. If we can improve the way we manage stress, we guarantee we improve that tract, the flow of the digestive and intestinal. So that's why it's both. Yeah, back to you, Deb.
Exactly. And what I was going to say next was you hit it, is for people who suffer from things like irritable bowel or food allergies or leaky gut syndrome,
Yeah.
or nervous bowel, like explosive bowel movements or colitis, or we know now that you can have diarrhea all the time and still be constipated. Why? Because your body is absorbing or pushing things out quickly. Like you said, it's because people are not eating what they should be and they're not getting the right fibers. And I love that even our fiber product has this philosophy of Soul of adding adaptogenic herbs. And when you look at all of the combination of things that you've put in here, I know that they all are not technically categorized as an adaptogen, but they all have adaptogenic abilities because of all of the great nutrition. I mean, think of just ginger with digestion and balancing emotions and helping the body function better, moving things out. It helps with circulation and other things like that. So you're getting some really great nutrition. You're doing the body a great justice by adding this fiber. I'm so impressed. And it doesn't matter how long I've been with Soul. I always feel like I'm brand new when I look at our list of ingredients and everything, because I really have to just go, this product was really well thought out, and it can and it really can help minimize how many other products we take.
Right.
And that's what I love. And that's
that was another goal, is to simplify it for all of us, for sure.
Yeah. So thanks again for doing such a great job and sharing your knowledge, even though you couldn't find the PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah, sorry about that.
I think I found it in English and I couldn't find it in Spanish.
Oh.
Why we had a separate discussion yesterday that was totally different. But I loved it because really, I love that there's a commercial out there that says something does a body good. I don't know what the product is, but I always like to say Soul does a body good, because Soul will help you consolidate so many products where I don't need to use a million things. I love that I can take a good fiber product and add it to my protein, but I don't have to add it to my protein if I don't want to, because the Soul Complete has some of this fiber blend in it already. And so I really can just look at everything and say, I can use this and I can use this and I'm good. Like if I look at my 4 foundational drinks, so I love to look at our 4-month program that we recommend in our group and just see where it is that the good vibrations fits in. And it's right here in the 2nd month when we're looking at package number 7.
You got it twice, right? Second and 3rd month. I'm so glad.
Yeah.
So glad it's in there twice. Yeah.
Yeah, because you're doing more than just cleansing the body. You're really increasing your circulation, increasing your memory capacity, so your cognitive function in a fiber. When do you see that with Metamucil? You don't. Do you know what I mean? So Soul really does a body good. I love it. I'm so grateful that you could be on. And I see that we have some new people today. I think my niece Jessica is on, and she has a guest with her. I think her name is Sharon. So Sharon, thanks for being with us for the first time this week. And I know you jumped on a little late, but this is being recorded. And so I will send Jessica the recording and all of you the recording, and you can view this later. But it really, really, really is so amazing to me that Soul can do so much for so many people. And I love that we can change lives by using these products, which are focused to help our bodies and our minds make that connection and function better. And in turn, we can share these products with people and help the world feel better. To me, it's a huge mission. I love it. I just want to remind everyone, and I I apologize. I'm a little scattered today because I had a chat with Conde and Denise Norbert and Wendy Place, and the discussion, which should have been half an hour, went like an hour and 40. And so my brain is a little scattered and things were a little scattered today. But I just want to remind everybody that this is May Mental Health Awareness Month. I love that Soul has partnered with a group called the Hope Squad. Today in our society, we have a lot of adolescents and teenagers who suffer from mental health issues. It is still taboo in our community to talk about this. What I love about Soul products, not only do they partner for good reasons with other organizations, so you can actually donate to the Hope Squad when you purchase one of these pins, or you can add a $2 donation to your order. What I love the most when I talk about mental health issues is I know how much this product has helped me personally, in how I feel and how I think. And I know it has made a difference in a lot of people, including the wife of our founder, Greg Halliday, whose video we shared a few weeks ago with you. And just look for my page on Facebook. There's a lot of good information on mental health. These products can change the way you think and process. And as a result, when your brain is feeling better, the whole rest of your body can actually function better. And if you start by giving your body what it needs, your body was created perfectly by a perfect God who knew what he was doing. And when we give our body what it needs, the body can do what it needs to do to heal itself and feel better. So thank you everybody for being here this week. Thank you so much, Greg. I know you also jumped on later and didn't hear Valerie's video, but you remember it was the one that we presented at convention where she talked about Troy and his issues. So please, if you have questions about Soul, talk to the person who shared this video with you. And if they're in our organization, give me a call. We can do always a 3-way call. So thanks everybody. Appreciate you being with us this week. Thanks again, Greg, for your participation every week. We love you. We appreciate what you're doing. And we'll see you all next week. Have a great week, everybody. Remember, Soul changes lives.